There are moments when the strength we rely on simply gives out. The daily routines we built, the masks of courage we project, under enough invisible pressure, it all shatters. The Bhagavad Gita provides a battle-tested framework for navigating this exact psychological wall. These manuscripts record a conversation designed to function as a manual for survival when the internal world begins to fail. The narrative begins with a bronze monument like this one. Arjuna, the greatest warrior, sits in his chariot on the eve of a massive war. He is weeping on the floor, paralyzed by the weight of a decision he is no longer sure he can make. Arjuna's collapse creates the necessary opening for wisdom. By setting down his bow and admitting he no longer has answers, he moves from the performance of a hero to the vulnerability of a student. Personal growth requires this total surrender of our pretending. When we stop trying to push through with false strength, we finally become open to the insights that a crisis is designed to deliver. When a crisis strips away your professional title, your family role, and your social reputation, you are forced to confront what part of you actually remains. The Gita introduces the Atman, an indestructible, eternal awareness that quietly observes your life. While your body, your emotions, and your thoughts change constantly, this central core remains a permanent witness to every chapter of your story. The text uses the metaphor of clothing. Your body and circumstances are garments worn and eventually discarded. The observer beneath them remains unaffected by the fraying fabric. You are the awareness watching your anxiety unfold. You are the one witnessing your own mistakes. Because you are the witness, you are separate from the events themselves. Anchoring your identity in this unchanging self provides a layer of protection against the volatility of the outside world. Understanding this internal identity changes how you behave when you step back into the noise of the physical world. In this framework, human excellence is measured by steady inner stillness. It favors a mind that remains centered, regardless of whether the current moment brings a victory or a total disaster. The text describes this state as a lamp in a windless place. The flame provides a constant, brilliant light because it is entirely undisturbed by the surrounding air. It burns completely in its own light, unaffected by the storms outside. This level of composure requires a deliberate effort to remain detached from our immediate reactions. It is a psychological state built one conscious choice at a time, training the mind to observe a situation before being swept away by it. By engineering this internal sanctuary, you ensure that external circumstances no longer have the power to permanently destabilize your peace. With this stillness established, you can turn to face the friction and difficult decisions of daily life. The epic physical battlefield of Kurukshetra serves as a map of your own mind. This split screen shows the two internal armies we all carry. On one side are the forces of ego and fear. On the other are courage and truth. Every habit, conversation, and moment of temptation is a literal skirmish between these two forces. We are constantly choosing which side of ourselves we intend to strengthen. Before your next major decision, pause for 1 minute. Identify which specific internal army is driving your choice. Is this a move toward fear or a move toward truth? The simple act of noticing this internal conflict changes the outcome. It transforms a blind, habitual reaction into a moment of conscious courage. The final challenge is taking massive action in the world without losing the internal peace we have just discovered. The Gita resolves this with a paradox. You must perform your duty with absolute 100% effort while simultaneously releasing any claim to the results. Gandhi's resolute gaze reflects this state. He led a movement against a global empire with total commitment, yet he maintained a profound inner calm that remained independent of the immediate success or failure of his efforts. When you detach your identity from the outcome, you are no longer paralyzed by the fear of failure. This frees you to pour the entirety of your focus into the work itself, improving the quality of your effort. Acting with total commitment while remaining at peace with the aftermath is the highest form of resilience. It allows you to enter your own battlefield with a mind that is both fearless and free.